Hello and welcome back to Off the Post. In today's episode, we'll be discussing whether Rio Ngumoha can be the star man at Liverpool to replace Mohamed Salah. But before that, as always, please like, comment, and subscribe. It's very much appreciated, and it goes a long way with me build a small community on my channel. We've recently just hit 302 subscribers. I just want to say a massive thank you for all the recent support on our most recent episodes, all the likes and the comments on social media as well. Definitely is going to notice. I just want to say a massive thank you, really. All the support is absolutely amazing. I just can't believe it so far. But yeah, let's get straight into the episode, shall we? Now, Liverpool beat Fulham 2-0 at the weekend, okay? And this was a massive result for their season just because, it's another 3 points to almost potentially secure top 5 Champions League football for next season, okay? Currently at the moment, they're on 52 points in 5th place, okay? And that's pretty good because it's only 2 points behind Aston Villa in 4th place and they're 4 points in front of Chelsea in 6th place, okay? So from that point of view, I feel like, Liverpool are in a comfortable position to carry on that progress and comfortably finish in a top 5 Champions League position. For me, I think Chelsea are just way off it this season. Don't get me wrong. Since Liam Rosenior sort of as came in, he started off having some good, decent results, but at the moment it's sort of fizzled out, hasn't it? The football's sort of dried up a little bit. The likes of João Pedro is not really scoring that many goals like he did. Garnacho is not really doing much either. Cole Palmer having a bit of an off season, if you like. Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, all these players, they're not having their best moments in recent weeks. So I think that's going to work in Liverpool's favour to finish into the top 5 this season. And if we just get on to the almost talk about some of the goals of the game, okay? For me, this was pretty much Rio Ngumoha's game, wasn't it? He was a star man in this game for Liverpool at 17 years old to command that ball, to command taking people on, 1v1, the way he was sort of just dribbling past players, right? The defenders taking on defenders, Premier League, experienced centre backs, like they've had years in the Premier League, and this guy's only came in for like what, one and a bit seasons, maybe not even that. Like this is his first professional season, if you like. He did, he was featuring here and there last season, of course, off the bench and whatnot. But he's become a sort of a season regular, if you like, this season. Coming off the bench and whatnot. But for me, I think it does go to show that he can almost overtake Mohamed Salah, potentially replace him even next season. Obviously, now that he's leaving at the end of the season, the Egyptian winger. So, obviously scoring this goal in the first game was absolutely amazing because he was taking on that right back, okay. And for me, he was doing tricks and flicks. He was absolutely letting loose on that right back, and the defender couldn't keep up with him whatsoever. He was literally falling over the gaff, okay. Rio Ngumoha was going left, he was going right. He cut in on the right hand side, okay, on his right hand foot and just curled it straight past the goalkeeper. The Fulham goalkeeper couldn't do anything about it, okay. He almost got there, but he just couldn't do enough because that ball was straight into the corner with perfection, okay. Honestly, when we talk about other youngsters in the league, a lot of one big youngster we talk about is Max Darman for Arsenal. Don't get me wrong, he's got a lot of talent and a lot of potential, but so does Rio Ngumoha. Okay, honestly, we can't forget about this guy. And for me, he could potentially start next season on that left-hand side. Like I mentioned like a few minutes ago, okay, I can't praise this kid highly enough. He came in at the weekend and was so impressive, wasn't he, against Fulham? He was running right against all these defenders. And then obviously, okay, I want to say Mohamed Salah scored an identical goal, pretty much, okay. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't really a flicks and tricks, but it was more of a first time curling round finish on his left foot, okay, from the right hand side. But it was nicely little hold up play from Gakpo, sort of bring him in and to lay it off to Salah on that right hand side, of course. But honestly, it does go to show as well for Mohamed Salah. He still does have it in abundance. Even though he hasn't really worked out this season at times, even though he has spent the most time on the bench, he still does have a lot of world class ability, and the talent is still there on his day. And wherever he does end up next season, whether that's MLS, Saudi League, somewhere in Europe, Italy, Spain, France, even we don't know. At the end of the day, I feel like he's still a world-class player with bags of ability who can still do it for a good European league for another, 1 to 2 seasons maybe. If you look at like I was going to say compare it to like Harry Kane. I don't think it is a Harry Kane situation, to be honest. But sort of moving to a different club and going to win trophies. But obviously Liverpool have been winning trophies. But I feel like he probably could do that again for another team in Europe. Probably, I think the pace of the Premier League probably is affecting his legs and whatnot because he's been so impressive now for like 5, 6, maybe 7 years, maybe even longer. Maybe I probably should check the stats how long he's actually been in the Premier League, Mohamed Salah. But he's getting on an age now. Maybe he just need to go to a league that's a little bit more slower, if you like, not as fast paced as the Premier League. And I feel like he probably will thrive once again, won't he? Because everywhere he's been in his career, except from like Chelsea, really, it has worked out. It has worked out. When he was at when he was coming through the ranks at Basel, it was very good. When he was obviously Chelsea didn't really work out for him. When he was at Florentina, very good. Roma as well. He was starting to pull up some good numbers, and that's where he got his big money move to Liverpool. And he's not looked back since, has he, Mohamed Salah? And again, I feel like this is where you can almost prepare for next season for Liverpool, isn't it? Where Arne Slot can take these last 7 games and he can work on the team selection. He can work on what works where and what doesn't work and what sort of players he needs to potentially sign to improve their squad for next summer. And I think he probably can look at Rio Ngumoha. I think he can pretty much look at Rio Ngumoha and sort of say to himself, is he ready now to start in the Premier League next season on that left hand side? Start him in these 7 games. Why not? You've got nothing to lose. You're pretty much in a comfortable position. Like I did mention at the start of the video, 52 points. As long as you can get some more wins under your belt, you've got some, you know, good fixtures in there. A few tricky ones as well. But all in all, it should be good enough, easy enough to potentially get a top 5 and. Just take one step at a time with Rio Ngumoha. You don't want to sort of rush him into that many games, but at the same time, if he's a talented player, you know, why not just throw him in straight away? If you've got the talent, you might as well, but you don't want to burn him out as well. Like maybe you could argue that sort of happened with Arsenal with Bukayo Saka. Maybe he's probably played too many minutes at such an early age. I don't know. It's always a debate that gets thrown around. Anyways, it's a bit of a tricky one when we think about other fixtures in this game week that can affect Liverpool as well. You got to think about Chelsea versus Man City, because if Man City beat Chelsea, okay, that's pretty much, you know, a massive confidence booster for Liverpool, because then, they'll still be 4 points in front of Chelsea with a game with a not a game in hand, but like they'll still be like 4 points ahead of them, because let's say if Chelsea get a point or even potentially win, then they're either, what is it? They're either 3 points behind or they're 1 point behind Liverpool. So, you know, you do need Man City to pull off a good result against the likes of Chelsea. But I definitely see Man City winning, and then you got to question yourself the Premier League title race. Is Man City in the Premier League title race because of Arsenal losing against Bournemouth 2-1? I did not expect to see that happening whatsoever. Don't get me wrong. I did a video on it last week, didn't I? Saying you know Arsenal Gunners, is this time where they can't slip up, and that's exactly what they did. It's a bit of a tricky one. I was like, oh my god, am I a genius? Maybe I am. I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. And anyways, let's end the video with some questions. Okay, only a short video today. How do we feel about Rio Ngumoha? Okay, is he a star player to replace Mohamed Salah in the future? Is he one to be starting games right now? Is Arne Slot gonna be here for the remainder of the season and next season as well? Are Liverpool going to be comfortably finishing in the top 5? How do we feel about Fulham in this game? How do we feel about the likes of Harry Wilson as well. He did have a good moment in the first half, didn't he, where he cut on his left foot and his shot sort of just went over the bar. It was a little bit unfortunate. He was probably one of their main driving forces again, like he has been the whole season. How do we feel about their chances of potentially, getting top 10 as well this season? How do we feel about, Liverpool as well? Who are the other main stars for Liverpool in this game? And yeah, before that, as always, please like, comment, and subscribe. It's very much appreciated. It goes a long way helping me build a small community on my channel. We've recently just hit 302 subscribers. Just want to say a massive thank you for the recent support on our most recent episodes, all the likes and the comments on social media as well. Definitely is going to notice. I just want to say a massive thank you, really. All the support is absolutely amazing. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.